बसवराज ऐनापुरे, भाग्यश्री मठ, भाग्यश्री मठ, भक्ति, भक्ति,
Present, sir.
ओके,
Present.
राइट। भारती, भारती,
Present, sir.
ओके,
Present, sir.
ओके। चेतन कुमार, चेतन
Present,
कुमार,
sir.
राइट,
Present, sir.
ओके। दीपक, दीपक, दीपक जामदार। दिव्या कुलकर्णी, दिव्या। गढ़ प्रथमेश शिवाजी, गढ़ प्रथमेश शिवाजी, ज्योति ओलेकर,
Yes, sir.
ओके। किरण लिगाड़े, किरण लिगाड़े, लक्ष्मीकांत कालोजी, लक्ष्मीकांत कालोजी, मानतेश पाटिल,
Yes, sir.
ओके। मोळे प्रेम, मोळे प्रेम,
Present, sir.
ओके। नागेश, नागेश इज देयर, नागेश दोडशिवण्णवर। नंदीश,
Present, sir.
ओके, ओके। पूजा पाटिल, पूजा
Present,
पाटिल,
sir.
ओके,
Present, sir.
ओके। प्रमोद कुमार, प्रमोद कुमार, प्रवीण मखदूम, प्रवीण मखदूम, Priyanka, somebody ask Priyanka to join again. There is some technical problem. Somebody ask her to join again. Sandhya Shirodkar, Sandhya. Santosh Pujari, Santosh Pujari. Santosh Sonar, Santosh Sonar. Shahbaz,
Present, sir.
right. Shafia,
Present, sir.
right. Sridhar, Sridhar Solkanwar. Srushti, Srushti Barmanawar. Siddharth Varnekar, Siddharth, Siddharth Patil, Siddharth Patil,
Present.
okay,
Present, sir.
right. Supriya,
Present, sir.
okay,
Present, sir.
right. Vandana,
Present, sir.
okay. Vasant, Vasant, Vasant. Vedatta,
Present, sir.
Vedatta, right.
Present, sir.
Okay. Yogesh, Yogesh. Mahesh Dodmani, Mahesh Dodmani. Balesh, Balesh. Taik Mohammed,
Yes, sir.
okay. Praveen, Praveen Rathod. Abhishek Palekar,
Present, sir.
okay. Aishwarya Bugdikatti,
Present, sir.
okay. Amanullah, Amanullah. Bandodkar Tanay Mohandas, Bandodkar Tanay Mohandas. Bhavrao More,
Yes, sir.
okay. Desai Shodhan Ashok,
Present, sir.
right. Devanor Anil Kumar Shekappa, Devanor Anil Kumar Shekappa. Nand Kumar, Nand Kumar. Pramod Kesti, Pramod. Rohini Pawle, Rohini, Rohini is not there. Rohit Alwani, Rohit Alwani,
Present, sir. Present,
okay,
sir.
right. Shashidhar Gaudar, Shashidhar, Sridhar Badger.
Present, sir.
Okay. Saish. Snehal Sawant. Snehal is there. Vaishnavi Sanikop.
Present, sir.
Okay. Anybody else to give the attendance?
Sir, roll number 2, Abhinandan Shetty.
Roll number 2. Okay, anybody else?
Sir, roll number 20.
Sir, roll number
Priyanka.
20. Okay. Roll number 20. Priyanka 26. Okay. Anybody else?
Sir, 6 Anjum Pirada.
6. Okay. Anybody else?
54, sir.
I have marked yours, Rohini. Anybody else? Okay. We'll continue with the class session. Are you able to see the screen, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the last class, we were discussing about the addressing modes, right? We discussed few examples and then we started discussing on the addressing modes. What is addressing mode? How do you define addressing mode? Or what is an addressing mode? An addressing mode is the one which specifies or which explains how the data is stored in registers and in memory location. This is called as addressing mode, right? There are various types of addressing modes. The way in which the data is stored in memory location and registers, there are various ways, there are various means to store the data. So these addressing modes are immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, relative addressing mode, indexed addressing mode, absolute addressing mode, and long addressing mode. These are the 8 addressing modes of 8051 microcontroller. Okay. So that is what I have mentioned here: immediate, register, direct, indirect, relative, indexed, absolute, and long addressing mode. Let us study each one of these one after the another. First one, immediate addressing mode. What is immediate addressing mode? In immediate addressing mode, data is stored in the register immediately. Data is stored in the register immediately. Such addressing mode is called as immediate addressing mode. For example, I have mentioned here move a comma hash 44h. Move a comma hash 44h is the instruction. This instruction means that the value 44h will be moved into a register. Value 44h will be moved or it will be stored in a register. So this value is moved immediately into the a register. This value 44h is moved immediately into the a register, and hence this type of addressing mode is called as immediate addressing mode. See the next instruction also, add a comma hash 25 or 25h. Okay, so whatever is the value in a register, value in a register is how much now? Move a comma hash 44h. What is the value in a register? 44h, right? So add a comma hash 25h means the value 25h, this value 25h will be added with the value 44h, which is in a register, and the result will also be stored in a register. The value 25h will be added with the value 44h, which is in a register, and the result will be stored in a register. 44 plus 25. So it will be how much? 64. 9. The value 69H will be stored in A register after instruction ADD A comma hash 25H is executed. Clear here? Now, such type of instructions are called as immediate addressing mode. They fall under the addressing mode, that is immediate addressing mode. Here, constant value is used. Constant value 44H, 25H, such values are used. And if values are used, they should be preceded with hash symbol. If values are used, they should be preceded by hash symbol. Okay. Otherwise, if hash symbol is not used, it means that it is a memory location. If you are not using this hash symbol, it means that, suppose if you write the instruction move A comma 44H, it means that value stored in 44H will be moved into A register, not the value 44H. Clear here? So there is a difference between using the hash symbol and not using the hash symbol. Here we are using the hash symbol to specify that this is a value. Clear? This immediate addressing mode, it takes 2 bytes of opcode. Opcode is of 2 bytes. Opcode full form is operational code. Opcode means it is the machine code which is understood to the machine, which is understandable to the machine. We write our language. Suppose I write here move A comma hash 44H, then I have written here add A comma hash 25H. It is understood to us what is meant by move A comma hash 44H. We can understand what is add A comma hash 25H. Okay, it means I have to add 25H to the value in A register to get the answer which will be stored in A register. But the microcontroller will not understand this language. It will understand only the machine level language, that is a binary language or the hexadecimal language. Therefore, such machine code or the language understood by the machine, such codes are called as operational code or the opcode. Operational code or the opcode. Now, for example, for the first instruction move A comma hash 44H, the opcode may be F7 stored in first memory location and then 44H stored in next memory location. It is 2 byte. Okay, the opcode of move A comma hash 44H, the machine code of the instruction move A comma hash 44H, it is of 2 bytes. 2 bytes means the opcode, that is the operational code for move A comma hash any value. Move A comma hash any value, its operational code or opcode is say F6. I'm just giving an example. It is F6. Then next they write the 44H. F6 is stored in say memory location 0000H memory location. Then 44H will be stored in next memory location, that is 0001H memory location. That is how many bytes now? 2 bytes. First byte is F6, 1 byte. Okay. Then 44H is second byte. So totally both together it is 2 byte. Like this, the immediate addressing mode uses 2 byte operational codes. Clear here, students? So this is the meaning of opcode or the operational code, or the meaning of 2 byte instruction. 2 byte instruction. The size of the instructions or the immediate addressing mode, it uses 2 byte instructions. Next is register addressing mode. In the register addressing mode, data is stored in the registers. Data is always stored in the registers. For example, I have mentioned here instruction move A comma R1. Move A comma R1 means value stored in R1 register will be moved into A register. Value stored in R1 register will be stored into A register. Right? So this instruction opcode may be say F8. F8 is the opcode of move A comma R1. It is only 1 byte. Okay, because there is no data here. Both are registers. A is a register, R1 is also a register. Therefore, it is 1 byte instruction, or register addressing mode uses instructions which are of 1 byte. Clear here? That is F8 will be stored in only one memory location, 0000H memory location. There is no second byte. Okay, because both of these are registers. Therefore, when register addressing mode is used, there is no second byte of opcode. There is no second byte of operational code. So that is the advantage of using the register addressing mode over that of the immediate addressing mode. In the immediate addressing mode, just now what we saw, the first type, we are having 2 bytes. Okay, there are 2 bytes for an instruction for the immediate addressing mode. But for register addressing mode, the instructions are of single byte, 1 byte. Okay. Both these registers, A register and R1 register, they are of same size. Both A register and R1 register are of same size. That is, if A register is 8 bits, R1 is also 8 bits. A register is 1 byte, R7 is also 1 byte. Okay. Suppose if any register is say 2 byte, then this register on the other side will also be 2 byte, like that. Size of both the registers used in the instruction is same. Okay. Both source and destination operands are register and they are of same size. The register or the operand that you are using in the left side is called as destination. The operand you are using on the right side is called as source. The operand used on the left side of the comma, it is called as destination. The operand or the register or the memory location that you are using on the right side of the comma is called as the source. Here we are moving the data from the source register R1 to the destination register A. Then in this second instruction, add A, R7, I am adding values stored in source register R7 with the value stored in destination register A, and the result is stored in the destination register A. This is how I have to explain this instruction, add A, R7. Instructions using register addressing mode are encoded using the 3 least significant bits of the opcode to specify particular register that is used in the instruction. Now here I am using the register R1 in the first instruction, move A, R1. So in the opcode that is written, the 3 least significant bits, they indicate which register is used. For example, here, this is move A, R1. Okay, move A, R1. Now, if I write the move A, R1, which is the instruction here, move A, R1. Move A, R1 is the instruction. Move A, R1 is the instruction. Okay. So when I use the instruction move A, R1, suppose say the opcode of this, right? Opcode of this opcode is say F1. F1 is the opcode of move A, R1 instruction. Move A, R1 instruction. Okay. Now this F1, say it is F1H is the opcode. It is the operational code, machine code for the instruction move A, R1. So this F1H will be stored in say memory location 0000H, memory location of the microcontroller, right? In this memory location, the value F1H, sorry, the value F1H will be stored. F1H will be stored. This is the opcode for move A, R1. Now here the least significant bits. F means what? F. If I write F1H, if I expand this F1H, if I expand this, what is F? 1111, right? What is 10001? Now the 3 least significant bits. These are the 3 least significant bits. F means 1111. It is 15. 1 is 0001. 0001. The 3 least significant bits, that is these 3 bits, right? These 3 bits, that is 001, they indicate which register is used in the instruction. Now, for example, here I am using the register R1. That is here 001, 001, it stands for 1. It is decimal value is 1, or it stands for R1 register. Suppose say if the 3 least significant bit is 111. If the 3 least significant bits is LSB bits, 3 LSB bits are 111. These are the 3 LSB bits. Okay. What will be the register used? Which register will be used? R7, exactly. R7 will be used, right? Based on these 3 least significant bits, whether it is 001 or 010 or 011 or 111, that will decide the type of register. If it is 001, R1 register is used. If all the 3 bits are 0, then R0 register is used. If all the 3 bits are high, that is 111, then R7 register is used in the instruction. The concept is clear here, students? Is it clear here?
Yes, sir.
Concept. Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. This register addressing mode eliminates the need of additional address byte. That is, all the instructions used in register addressing mode, they are of single byte, only 1 byte instructions. Next, direct addressing mode. In direct addressing mode, the data is stored in a memory location. Data is stored in the memory location. So this type of direct addressing mode is used for 128 byte RAM location of microcontroller and special function registers of 8051 microcontroller. Okay, the RAM memory location, we know that it is from memory location 00 to 7F. 00 to 7F. Special function registers, they are from memory location 80 to FF in 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so all these memory locations can be accessed. The data stored in all these memory locations can be accessed using direct addressing mode. Now, when I use the word access, it means I can store the data in these memory locations, right? I can read the data from these memory locations, or I can write the data into these memory locations. Now, for example, if I use the instruction for direct addressing mode, let us say I'm using the instruction move a comma 58H. The instruction is say move a comma 58H, right? So if this is the instruction, it means the value stored in 58H memory location will be stored in A register. Value stored in 58H memory location will be moved into A register, not 58H, because hash symbol is not used here, right? If hash symbol is used, then 58H value is stored in A register. But as hash symbol is not used here, value stored in 58H memory location will be moved into A register. Clear here? So this is the example of direct addressing mode. This is the example for direct addressing. Next, indirect addressing mode. In indirect addressing mode, value is stored in memory location and memory location is stored in one of the registers. Right? For example, here you can see these instructions: move a comma at R1, move a comma at R1, move at R0 comma B. Now, in this instruction, move a comma at R1, the instruction is move a comma at R1. Move a comma at R1. This is the instruction. Right? Now here, when this instruction is executed, okay. Now how the values are stored here? Move a comma at R1. In R1 register, some memory location is stored. Say I'm using the memory location 43H. Right? And in this memory location, some value is stored. Say the value stored is 05H. Now, when this instruction is executed, move a comma at R1. So this is the at symbol. At symbol is always used whenever we are using indirect addressing mode. Clear here? So it is used along with R0 or R1 registers. Other registers are not used for indirect addressing mode. Only R0 and R1 registers are used for the indirect addressing mode. The architecture of the 8051 microcontroller is such that only R0 and R1 registers are used for indirect addressing mode, not the other registers. R2 to R7 are not used. Clear here? That is, in R1 register, 43H is stored. 43H is the memory location. In memory location 43H, the value 05H is stored. So this is a memory location. So I am using the brackets to indicate that it is a memory location. In memory location 43H, value 05H is stored, and memory location 43H is stored in R1 register. When this instruction executes, move a comma at R1, it means that value 05H stored in 43H memory location in register R1 will be moved into A register. So finally, what will be the answer? What will be the value in A register? Value in A register will be 05H. That is, value 05H stored in memory location 43H in register R1. 5H is stored in 43H memory location. 43H memory location is stored in register R1. So this value 05H, which is stored in memory location 43H in register R1, will be moved into A register, or will be copied into A register. Right? So A register will store the value 05H. Clear here? So like this, I can also use the instruction move a comma at r0, move a comma at r0, or move at r1 comma a. That is the next instruction I have written here. Move at r0 comma b. Move at r0 comma b. So move at r0 comma b means it is just the reverse operation. Move at r0 comma b. Move at r0 comma b. Suppose value stored in B register is say 08H. 08H is the value stored in B register. Fine. Now this value 08H will be stored in memory location. That memory location is stored in register R0. Right? Suppose say in R0 register, the memory location stored is 32H. 32H is the memory location, right? Now when this instruction executes, what will be the value stored in 32H memory location? When move at r0 comma b executes, what will be the value in 32H in R0 register?
08H.
08H, very good. 08H will be the value stored in 32H memory location in register R0. That is, move at R0 comma b means value in B register will be moved into the memory location, right, which is in R0 register. So in 32H memory location, which is stored in R0 register, in this memory location, value of B register will be stored. That is 08H will be stored. This is how it executes move at R0 comma B. Similarly, we can also write the instruction move at R1 comma B. We can have move A comma at R1, move B comma at R1, or move at R1 comma B, or move at R1 comma A, like that. The other side of the instruction can also be used. Okay. So this is indirect addressing mode. One of the important feature of indirect addressing mode is that data accessing is dynamic. Data accessing is dynamic. Dynamic refers to the accessing of data from different memory locations. Here I use the memory location move at R0 comma B. We'll take up the first instruction move A comma at R1. In R1 I have stored 43H. In 43H value is 05. That has been stored in A register. Right. Now what I will do is I will increment the value in R1. Increment R1. When I use the semicolon here, it means whatever I am writing next will be the comment. Okay. When I use semicolon here, whatever I write next will be the comment. So in R1 register, what is the value that will be stored? R1 starting value is 43H. Value stored in R1 is 43H. When I use the instruction increment R1, or when this instruction increment R1 is executed, value in R1 register will be incremented by 1. It will be added 1. Okay. So 43H plus 1. 43H plus 1. 43H plus 1, that will be 44H. 44H. That means what? The value in R1 register is incremented by 1. It is adding 1 to the value stored in R1 register. In R1 register, value stored was 43H. Increment R1 means add 1 to the value stored in R1 register. 43H plus 1, that will be 44H. Now the present value in R1 will not be 43H, but it is 44H. It is 44H. Here it will be 44H. Right. Now again, if I use the instruction move, same instruction, but move value in R1 is different. Move A comma at R1. Move A comma at R1. Move A comma at R1. Now what will be the value stored in A register? Value stored in A register will be the value stored in 44H memory location. Suppose say in 44H memory location in R1 register, right, value is 44H memory location, and in 44H memory location value stored is say 03H. So this value 03H will be stored in A register, because now the value in R1 is 44H memory location. In 44H memory location the value is 03H, and hence the value in A register will be 03H. Value stored in memory location 44H is 03. This 03 is stored in memory location 44H, which is an R1 register, and hence value stored in A register will be 03H. Value 03H stored in memory location 44H in register R1 will be moved into A register, and hence the value in A register will be now 03H. Value in A will be 03H. Why I am explaining this is that this concept is called as dynamic. That means I can increment the memory location and then I can store the value stored in that memory location, in those memory locations, into the register. So this concept is called as dynamic accessing of data. Dynamic means I can read the next memory locations continuously. I can change the memory locations, read the data from those memory locations and store it in the registers. Right? This is called as dynamic accessing of data. This is present with which addressing mode? This is available with which addressing mode? Indirect addressing mode. Indirect addressing mode has the feature of dynamic accessing of data. Next, let us move on to the next addressing mode, relative addressing mode. In relative addressing mode, effective address or the target address is calculated by adding relative address to the address stored in program counter. Effective address or target address of the jump instruction is calculated by adding the relative address to the value stored in program counter. I'll explain this by considering an example. Consider this example here. I have written a small program consisting of around 7 to 8 instructions. ORG 0000H. It means the first instruction of the program is stored starting from memory location 0000H. This is the first instruction. Move R0, #00H. This is stored starting from memory location 0000H. Clear here? So like this, I have written some instructions. Next instruction is move A, #55H. Then jump if 0. Jump if 0 to next. Jump if 0 means if value in A register is 0, then it will jump to next memory location. Next memory location is where? It is here. So jump if 0 to next means directly it will move from this instruction, this particular instruction to this instruction, next, because next is here. Jump if 0 to next. If value in A register is 0, if this condition is satisfied, that is if value in A register is 0, then it will jump to next. Directly it will come to this instruction, next. That is add A, #77H. It will skip in between instructions. It will skip the in between instructions. So these are called as jump instructions. Now how to find the address where it will jump, or to which instruction it will jump? So this is found out by adding relative address. Right? Now these are the opcodes. This is program counter. Program counter is the register which always stores memory location of next instruction to be executed. Okay. So here if this instruction is 00, then next this instruction it is starting 0002. Right? Then this is 2 bytes. Move R0, #00H is 2 byte. 78H is stored in 0000H memory location. 00H is stored in next memory location, that is in 0001, 2 byte. Then after that, next memory location is 0002. I hope everybody are following here. First memory location is 0000. This stores 78. That is the opcode. Next is the value. What is the value used in this register, in this instruction? 00H. That is second byte. So second byte is stored in 0001H memory location. The next memory location is 0002. 0002H memory location. In this, again move A, #55H. Opcode is 74. This is stored in 0002. Then 55H is the value in the instruction. That is 55H. This value. This is stored in next memory location. 0003H memory location. Fine. So like this, I have used various instructions. Then increment R0. Again increment A. Then next instruction is in the memory location 0009. Next colon add A, #77H. So these are the mnemonics. Mnemonic is the operation that we are going to perform. It is indicated by the mnemonics. Operands are the values on which we are performing the operation. The value on which we are performing a task. That is called as the operand or the operands. Okay. So there may be a single operand in the instruction, or there may be 2 operands. If there are 2 operands, they are separated by a comma. As you can see in this instruction, move R0, #00H. there are two operands. One is R0, another one is 00H. Right? So these two are separated by a comma here. Clear? Similarly here, move A comma hash 55H. Again, they are separated by a comma like this. Increment A, this has only one operand. A is the only one operand. Okay, so like this. Fine. Now, the relative address concept is here the address to which this jump instruction takes place. Jump if 0 to next. Okay, so to which instruction the jump should takes place, that we have to calculate. Okay, that is calculated by adding the program counter. Program counter, as we know that it always stores memory location of next instruction to be executed. Now when jump with 0 to next, when this instruction is getting executed, program counter will be storing memory location of next instruction. What is the next instruction? Increment R0. The instruction next to jump if 0 to next is increment R0. This instruction, increment R0. The memory location where this increment R0 is stored is 0006. 0006. Okay. So in program counter in PC register, it stores the memory location 0006. 0006. Okay. Now this will be added. The relative address of that instruction, of that jump instruction. Now this is jump if 0, jump instruction. Its relative address is 03. This is the called as relative address 03. Right? 03 is the relative address. Now this 03 is added to 0006. The first byte is called as the opcode. So this is 60. It is the opcode. The second byte, that is 03, it is called as the relative address. So 0006 plus 03. 0006 plus 03, how much it is? Yes, 0006 plus 3. What is the answer? 0009. 0009H. That means the jump instruction will take place, the jump will take place to the memory location 0009H. 0009H. Okay. Jump will take place to the memory location 0009H. So where is 0009? 0009 is here. 0009 is here. What is the instruction? Next, add a comma hash 77H. So this jump if 0 to next. So this is called as a target address. This 0009H is called as target address. Target address. Target address. Clear here, students? Like this, it will calculate the target address by adding the program counter. Program counter is memory location of the next instruction to be executed. That is added with the relative address of that instruction. So if both these are added, whatever memory location we get, that is the memory location where the jump instruction will take place, or the jump will take place. So jump on 0 to next means the next is where? At this memory location 0009. So we have calculated the target address. Target address is the memory location to which the jump should take place. Clear here, students? So this is how it will calculate the target address. This is relative addressing mode. Clear here? So concept is clear here, students? This concept is clear here, relative addressing mode. All of you understood this concept here? Fine. Okay. Here we are using 8-bit offset or 8-bit relative address. So this 03, whatever this relative address is there, it is of 8 bits. Okay. So as it is of 8 bits, this 03. So I can use 33 or 73, 83, whatever it may be, relative address of that instruction. It is of 8 bits, that is 1 byte. So as it is of 8 bits or 1 byte, how many combinations we can make of 8 bits? How many combinations we can make? If I ask you combinations, which formula you will use? Formula?
2 raised to n.
2 raised to? How much?
2 raised to n.
2 raised to n, correct. So here n is about 8 bits. N is 8 bits. So 2 raised to 8 means 256. So the jump instruction can jump up till 256 memory locations above and below this jump instruction. Above and below this jump instruction, it can jump to any memory location which is within the range of 256 memory locations. Clear here? So that is the range of this jump instruction in relative addressing mode. Jump instruction range is 256 memory location. That means here it can jump either minus 128 memory location in the backward direction or plus 128 memory location in the forward direction. So this jump instruction, whatever I have explained now, just now, is called as forward jump. Forward jump means it will jump in the forward direction. In the forward direction. If it is jumping in the backward direction, suppose if I write jump if 0 to again, suppose if this again is say somewhere here, okay, jump if this again is somewhere here, right? Then it is called as, if I instead of using jump if 0 to next, if I write jump if 0 to again, jump if 0 to again, then it is called as backward jump, because jump is taking place in the backward direction. Jump if 0 to again. Where is this again? Again is here in the backward side. Okay, in the behind side, backward direction. Right. So this is called as backward jump. So there are two types of jumps. One is forward jump and backward jump. Clear here, students? This is about the relative addressing mode. So that is the example I have mentioned. Short jump. This instruction is SJMP. SJMP stands for short jump. Short jump there. Okay. So like this, we can quote any number of examples. So this is one of the examples. Next is indexed addressing mode. Indexed addressing mode. In the indexed addressing mode, effective address is calculated by adding the base register value with the offset value. By adding the base register value with the offset value, the destination address or target address is calculated. See this example here. Move C A comma at A plus base register. Move C A comma at A plus base register. Move C A comma at A plus PC. I'll use PC. PC is a 16-bit register. DPTR is also a 16-bit register. Okay. So here move A comma at A plus PC. It means that what it will do here, it will add the value in A register with the value in PC register, and that will give the memory location. So this add symbol is, it will always specify the memory location, right? So A values, let us say value in A is say 00H. Value in A is say 00H. Value in A is 00H. Then let us say value in program counter PC register is 0054H. 4H. A plus PC. Value in A is added with value in PC register. So 00H plus 0054. 00 plus 0054, that is A plus PC. A plus PC. That is 00H plus 0054H. This comes out to again same value 0054. So at A plus PC. At A plus PC means what? At 0054H memory location. At 0054H memory location. So at this memory location 0054H, whatever is the value stored, that will be moved into A register. That will be moved into A register. Clear here? So this PC or DPTR register is called as the base register, and this accumulator is called as the offset. This PC or DPTR register, whatever we are using here, after the plus symbol, it is called as base register, and the register that we are using behind this plus symbol, it is called as the offset. Accumulator is called as the offset. Clear here, students? So we are obtaining the value from the memory location. How we are getting this memory location? By adding the value in A register with the value in program counter, or by adding the value in A register with the value in DPTR register. So whatever value we get, that is the memory location. From this memory location, whatever value is stored, that value will be moved into A register. Suppose say in 0054H memory location, 0054H memory location. So I am using the bracket to indicate that it is a memory location. So when I use the bracket, it means value stored in that memory location. So value stored in this memory location is say 09H. So this 09H value will be moved into A register. So when I execute this instruction, move C A comma at A plus PC, the value stored in A register will be A will be equal to 09H. This is how it will execute the instruction MOVC A comma at A plus C. C means code. It is used for the ROM memory, code memory. Move C means move code or ROM memory, code memory. Move C A comma at A plus PC means the value 9H here. When I consider this example, that will be stored in A register. That will be stored in A register. Clear here, students? So this is how it will calculate the effective address or the target address by adding the value in base register with the value in the offset. So offset is the accumulator. Base register is program counter or DPTR register. One more example is jump at A plus DPTR. Value in A register is added with value in DPTR register, and the jump will take place to that particular memory location. At means that memory location. Okay. Suppose value in A is 0, 0, then value in DPTR is say 1, 2, 3, 4H. So 0, 0 plus 1, 2, 3, 4H. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4H. It will jump to 1, 2, 3, 4H memory location. It will jump to 1, 2, 3, 4H memory location. Jump will take place to the target address 1, 2, 3, 4H memory location. At which memory location some other instruction is stored. Some other instruction is stored at memory location 1, 2, 3, 4H memory location. Clear here? So this is indexed addressing mode. Right. So we'll continue with the next addressing modes in the next class. 2 more addressing modes are remaining. So I'll complete that. Okay. And then we will proceed with assembling and running an 8051 program. Okay. So that we'll take up in the next class. So in today's class, students, we have seen the various addressing modes. Right. We have started with definition of addressing mode. Then I've explained addressing mode, that is immediate addressing mode, register, direct, indirect. Okay. Then relative, then next is indexed addressing mode. Clear, students? So remaining 2 are absolute addressing mode and long addressing mode. That will take up in the next class, and then we'll proceed with the assembling and running an 8051 program. Okay. Any questions here, students? Any questions here? What all we discussed in today's class? Was it understood? Concepts are clear, right? Concepts are clear to everyone? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Any questions? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please ask the question. Any questions? Yes, any questions you can ask. So in the next class, study this and come. We'll ask you questions on this, and then we'll move ahead with the next addressing modes. Fine. So I hope everybody understood here, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then we'll stop the session here. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.